Hello students, very good morning. So in last session we have talked on origin of prokaryotes, right? Now today we will continue with the same chapter, evolution, and the topic is origin of eukaryotes. Now we had already talked on how this prokaryotes formed, right? So accordingly, the rising level of atmospheric oxygen due to oxygen revolution lead to the appearance of first cell that is known as eukaryotic organism. Right. Now what is that oxygen revolution? Oxygen revolution means due to many photoautotrophs, the oxygen liberated in atmosphere and this oxygen is circulating through aerobic respiration as well. Right. So due to this rising level of atmospheric oxygen, what happened? This led to appearance of first cell eukaryotic organism. Single cell eukaryotic organism. Right. These eukaryotic organisms evolved from basically this prokaryotes and archaebacteria. Right. Now which archaebacteria that we have already talked on? Protocells. Right. Now you must know about protocells. Free living eukaryotes was originated in ancient ocean about 1500 million years ago. The oldest eukaryotic fossil that is of about 1.5 billion years ago, which is the oldest known eukaryotic fossils, right? Then after there are following views regarding of this mode of origin of eukaryotes. Few of them is one is Lynn Margulis explained that some anaerobic predator host cells engulf primitive aerobic bacteria, but they did not digest them. Thus, what happened? Oxygen respiring bacteria developed. Oxygen respiring bacteria means aerobic bacteria developed from mutual association with host cell. Now, this mutual association between this host cell, that's why the whole topic is also known as symbiotic origin of eukaryotes. Okay. So what will happen in this? Oxygen respiring bacteria develop from mutual association with host cell, right? This predator cell become the first eukaryotic animal cell. Remember this, animal cell. Now, predator cell capture both aerobic and photosynthetic blue-green algae. What happened in this eukaryotic animal cell? Aerobic bacteria some anaerobic predator host cells engulf aerobic bacteria, but in this capture both aerobic and photosynthetic blue-green algae and becomes first eukaryotic plant cell, right? So this is what the origin of, what you can say, eukaryotes. Now, next one is evolution of life forms. Now evolution is defined as we already know that is unrolling, or we can say that gradual changes from one form to another, that is also evolution. Now evolution is classified into this 4 categories. First one is microevolution, second one is macroevolution, third one is mega evolution, and fourth one is quantum evolution. Now we have to just go through in brief only. Microevolution means, micro means small, right? So what will happen in this? Small changes in gene pool. Gene pool means different gene together. Then macro means larger. So fossils records exhibit due to macroevolution because there is a long period of time. Same over here we can say micro, that will be in short period of time. So due to long period of time we can have different fossils, right? Next one is mega evolution. Mega means larger. That resembles with origin of whole new biological group, right? And the quantum evolution, evolution with which occur with systematic mutation. Now just remember that is occurs due to mutation. Now what is mutation? Mutation is crossing over, as we have seen in chapter 11, standard 11, chapter 10, crossing over, right? It is similar of that mutation. There is a change in gene. So what will happen due to changing in gene? The variation will occur, and definitely evolution will occur due to change, right? So that's up with this. Now we will continue with evidences of evolution. Now what are the evidences, different evidences of evolution, as we have already talked in a textbook, right? What are that different you can say examples we have already talked in our NCERT. So different evidences, there are so many evidences of evolution. From that we can say that evolution can happen like this, right? So we will continue with almost 7 to 8 evidences. First one is morphology and comparative anatomy. Second, that is embryology. Third, that is connecting link. Fourth one, that is paleontology. Fifth one, that is biography. Sixth, taxonomy. 7, cytology. And 8, that is of genetics. We will talk on this all one by one, right? So first one is evidences from morphology and comparative anatomy. Now what is that? First one is, what is actually homologous organ and homology? We have already studied in our NCERT part that organ having same embryonic origin and basic structure but not perform same function, that is also known as homologous organ, right? Similarly you can simply say out that organism having a similar structure but different function, that is homologous organ. Now what is homology, or you can say divergent evolution? Already we have talked relation between structure of different organism called as homology or divergent evolution. Now there are some types of homology given. First one is phylogenetic homology, second one is sexual homology, and third one is serial homology. Now just I am going for short. What is phylogenetic? You must now know this. Phylogenetic means similarity between different species, that is phylogenetic. Next one is sexual homology. Sexual means homology existing between the sexes of same species. And third one is serial homology. Serial means homology existing between the organ of same individual. If I will give you the example of this, phylogenetic, just mention out in your notes. Phylogenetic means between different species. Just write it down over here. Between different species. We will have one example of that is pentadactylity limbs of vertebrates. Pentadactylity means 5 finger. Dactyl means finger, right? So almost that is difference. Then sexual homology, that is existing between sexes of same species. you can say testes of man and ovaries of a woman, right? There are two different sexes but a same species. Just mention out example in your notebook. And serial homology last, that is of organs of homology between the organ of same individual. Example of arm and leg of man. Just write it down over here. Organs of same individual. Example you can mention over there, right? So that is off with homology. Now there are few example of homology in animals. Some of you know that. First one is homology in animal. First one is forelimbs of vertebrates, as we have talked this, like whales, then bats wing, cat's paw, horse front leg, human hand, birds wing, share similar bone structure but dissimilar in their function, right? Then brain in vertebrate. We can start with fishes to mammals, right? They are constituted of similar parts, means they have a, you can say, optic lobe, cerebellum, medulla, right? All have similar structure but functions are different. Then insects legs. Insects legs consist of 5 parts. If you know, or if you have remember in 11th standard neat part, we have already talked on this. There is a diagram of like this something. I'm not exactly different 5 parts, something like this, right? Coxa and exactly I not remember particular, femur, tibia, tarsals, humans, right? So they have the similar part but functions are different. This is up with animals. Now this is what about homology in plants with. First one is parts of flowers. Generally all flowers have the same parts like sepal, petals, stamens and carpels. All are homologous structure. Second one is modification of leaves in bougainvillea and cucurbita. That you know that in bougainvillea leaves modified into thorns, and in cucurbita modification of leaves into tendrils. Tendrils means it is similar of like this structure for support, and thorns is like this for protection. So they have the same modification in leaves, means structure similar and functions are different. Structure is of leaf only, right? Then another one is phylloid or phyllocyde of opuntia and cladode of asparagus, and last one is tendrils of wild pea. Tendrils of wild pea are homologous to their leaves only. It is similar of that leaves. So both have same structure like tendrils but different function. That leaf have you can say photosynthesis and tendrils have to support, right? So that is what up with homology. Now that is another topic, that is adaptive radiation or similar of divergent evolution. I am not going in deep as it is same, so refer textbook that we have already talked on. Marsupials, Darwin's finches, same thing, right? Now another thing, that is of analogy or analogous organs. Now opposite to homology, what is that? Different in their basic structure but similar in function. That is what analogous organs. And what is analogy? Relation between structure and different group of animals due to their similar function, called as analogy, right? Okay, so same thing. Example, we will continue with analogy in animals. Now what are the example? First one is wings of insects and birds. Now these examples in your textbook also. Wings of insects and birds, different in structure but function is same for flying, right? Same second example, that is of flippers of dolphin and penguins. Both have the different structure but function is same. Then trachea of insects and lungs of vertebrates are adapted for respiration but are not homologous, as trachea are ectodermal in origin, whereas the lungs are endodermal in origin. Now you must know what is ectoderm and what is endoderm. 3 germ layers in 11th standard we already talked in, right? Okay. And for in plants, that is of leaf of plant and cladode of ruscus. Ruscus is a plant. Both having different structure but function is same, that is of photosynthesis. And sweet potato and potato, you have resembled the structure of this sweet potato and potato. What is the structure is same like bulky, and what is the function? Modification of food storage, right? So okay, tell me or just remember, what is the scientific name of sweet potato and potato? Potato you must know, Solanum tuberosum, and sweet potato, that is Ipomia batatas, right? So both have the modification and mean for the storage of food. So we can say therefore they are analogous organ. So that is up with analogy, right? And last topic of today, that is of vestigial organ. Now you know that vestigial organs are organs which are present till today but there is no function of this today, right? So non-functional today now but functions in ancestor. So there are so many vestigial organ in humans today, that is coccyx, nictitating membrane, cecum, vermiform appendix, canines, wisdom teeth, long body hair, mammary gland in males, etc. That is of humans. Whichever you part don't know, just go through the Google and see the part. Then there is another topic that is known as atavism or reversion. What is that? Sudden reappearance or refunctioning of some ancestral organs like long dense body hair, development of power of moving pinna, right? We have pinna but we can't move. There are some organisms that can move their pinna. Birth of a human baby with small tail, right? There are some cases. So that is what reverse procedure, right? So that is known as atavism. So these all are the evidence that giving us a major evidence for evolution. Okay, just go through the entire evolution part, whatever remaining for you for making notes, and we will continue next. Bye. Thank you.